Uh, I'm on the way, man. He knows it. That gap is getting closer and closer. But like I said, being part of this organization, the guys ahead of me, records are meant to be broken, but they want you to earn them.
Do you sort of feel that way also, that you're building up to your best self?
Yeah, I know that.
How so? Like, what do you feel through each game that's sort of coming around? What's that feeling like?
I'm still picking my spots on when to be aggressive. My three ball hasn't even nearly got going yet, and I'm still doing what I'm doing.
That's what he told us. He said, and just wait till the three ball comes around. So you're sort of on the same page with that also? Is that?
Yeah. No, I know what Spo wants, and I want the same for myself. I feel the spots where he sees I can be a little bit more aggressive, and as far as catching the shoot and things like that. I just got to get more comfortable playing at a game pace and being able to, get my legs under me and things like that for my range.
Tyler, Ben came out of the gate with 4 steals in the first quarter. Played with him your whole career. Where do you think this ranks in his best defensive seasons?
I couldn't tell you where it ranks. I know it's up there, though, with one of his better seasons, but he's great defensively every single year. He's the anchor. He's been the anchor for our defense for 7 years that I've been here. In those nights where he's most disruptive and most active on defenses, I don't think we lose games like that.
Sometimes the NBA is as simple as take care of business. Is that sort of the feeling tonight in this game? Business-like victory did what had to be done.
Yeah, it was a professional win. Coach always talks about being, professionals coming in and take care of business. We've dropped a couple games that we feel like we're supposed to win, not just this year, but the last couple years. So it's one of those games where we want to come in and be professional, take this game, same approach as we had against Houston, and just ultimately take care of business.
Two straight games of technical. What was behind this one tonight?
My mom's not going to be happy. Keep losing my money, giving technical fees and stuff like that. But just being fiery, having some competitive edge. And he threw the ball at Pella, so I said something to him. I'm not going to let anyone just throw the ball at my teammate. And I know Pella's got my back, so it was fun. I like a little talk.
Tyler, going back to the shot selection, you were pretty aggressive getting to the basket, drawing contact, or trying to draw contact at least. And how much of that is a conscious decision of, maybe my three ball's not going in, let me just make quick decisions to get to the rim instead?
Yeah, it's part of it. Just trying to find my rhythm, and I've only played, I don't know how many games, less than 20. And every other team and players kind of been in rhythm and been playing since October. I really haven't played much 5-on-5 since last season, so it's like just steps in the right direction, continuing to see where my shots are coming from, but also just playing in the flow. It's not all about scoring and just making the right play.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Thanks, Tyler.
For the most defensive rebounds in Heat history. Just thoughts on that, and maybe the smack talk you might say to him after this.
I'm on the way, man. He knows it. That gap is getting closer and closer. But like I said, being part of this organization, the guys ahead of me, records are meant to be broken, but they want you to earn them. And obviously I'm earning it every game, and at some point it's going to happen.
Ben, last year snapped a streak of you not being on all defense. Big stat game like tonight when you have 6 steals. How much was it in your mind this year to kind of remind people that you're one of the best defenders in the league?
Hold on. I think people get tired of seeing consistency. It gets boring when you see somebody just doing it over and over and over again. But also the criteria has shifted as I've gotten older in this league. You got guys making it that aren't making the playoffs. They're bottom of the league in records. So you see some crazy stuff happening now. I don't know if it's just, voters fatigue, but I'm always going to be first team all defense. That'll never change. No matter what the voters say. My peers know it. Obviously, you see I can have moments where I can have 6 steals and, affect the game where I got the highest plus minus. So from that side, I've always been, this is who I am, this is how I got in the league, this is how I got minutes. So that side will never go away.
Bam, it seems ever since that Utah game, you guys realize that there's different teams playing for different reasons and that we've got to take care of business. And that was very evident in the Memphis game. And honestly, and recently in every game in this situation, how important is it for you guys to sort of put the pedal on the gas and just take care of business when business needs to be taken care of?
It's the second half of the season. We need these wins. We can't have any more slip-ups. We've had enough in the first half of the season. And you have to hold each other to a higher standard and accountability, and that gets uncomfortable sometimes because, you feel like you don't want to go too far. But, in that sense, man, we've passed that stage, and, we're trying to do something special. And that's going to take all of us, and we're going to have to hold each other accountable in some intense situations.
Them to under 100. What did you like most about this win?
Just to see the approach. I was pleased with the prep. I was pleased with the practice yesterday, and pretty consistent, effort and focus throughout the course of the game. It was a good response. Now we can take, a little bit of time and gather ourselves and get ready for Thursday night as well.
How much did Bam kind of set the tone there with his aggressiveness from the start? And also, part two, just the significance of Bam passing UD for most defensive rebounds.
Yeah, I know he's chasing him, so I'm sure he's going to be talking some smack, to him. He wants to get the full rebound record, but it's a testament, to his consistency, and we love to see it. That's what records are there for, to be broken, especially when there's quality people that are breaking records. And Bam is a quality, a human being, and UD will eventually, love it, when Bam does eventually pass him, but. He set the tone, in that first quarter. I think he had 4 steals. And then he had a couple blocks, in the first half, really anchoring our defense. And these are 2, very good defensive games, back to back. Our defense has been good all year, but we needed to really step up, to a high level, to finish out this regular season.
Do you sense Tyler getting into more of a rhythm now? I mean, obviously, being back now for an extended period, what do you see from him, and how comfortable do you think he is, and are you with him?
We're really comfortable with him, and I think he's making all of this look a whole lot easier than it actually is. He hasn't played extended time. This is just really a short period of time, that he's been back. But I think each game it'll get better. I trust Tyler and his work. He puts in so much time, at it. But he just adds so much to our offense. Now we get this element of creativity. Definitely the shot making, and you don't know where it's going to come from. And then once he gets his rhythm of the 3-ball going, I think that'll, really help impact our offense to another level as well.
And then in regards to Jaime, he hit a couple of threes early, multiple three-pointers for the first time in like over a month, matches season high. How important is it for him to get to a comfort zone beyond the arc, and how much do you think that would further open his game if he can maybe get that percentage up?
He works at it all the time. I don't think that necessarily will, affect our offense one way or another. I think we score in bunches when he's on the court. The most important thing is he is our downhill guy. He'll be able to keep defenses honest. If he knocks down a couple threes, but by this point, teams play him how they play him. You know, they're going to sag off him. He's going to eat up that space, or they're going to put a 5 on him. We're used to seeing that. If they come up with something else, hopefully we'll see a lot of that the next 20 games. But when he plays well, regardless of how it looks, regardless of whether he hits threes or not, if he plays well, you know, that gives us a great punch.
Some of the players have talked about the frustrations of being a play-in tournament team again. I know you've also talked about not wanting to necessarily watch the standings, but how much does something like that serve as good motivation?
It should. I like the pressure, you know, for this group. I think we need that pressure, you know, to really kick us into another gear. And there will be a lot of pressure in these games. There's going to be a lot of clutch games, close games, a lot of emotion in these games. You know, I know we have a lot of competitors in our locker room, and I'm banking on that, you know, bringing out a better version of ourselves. We have everything we need. We got a high-powered offense. We got a very good defense. You know, it can be as good as anybody in the league defensively. But we need to put together, particularly in the moments of truth.
One more on Tyler. He's really been getting to that floater. Obviously, since his return, it's nothing new for him, but just mechanically, what have you seen, I guess, develop in that part of his game when he gets to that part of the floor, and just what maybe has changed or what's been the same?
No, nothing has really changed. He has just a great skill for that. You know, I know he works on it a lot, but I've been around players that have worked on that a lot. He has a talent for it. He has beautiful touch, you know, and he can do it at full speed. He can do it at the slow step. He can do it, you know, where he's contested and creating a little bit of space. So that's that kind of that creativity or creative space, you know, that will allow him to explore. It makes our offense, you know, even more dynamic. And I know we put points on the board in a hurry, but against the really good teams, you also need that ability to create something out of nothing, and Tyler can do that. And I'm telling you, when he gets his rhythm, that's the last piece of this rhythm, you know, because he's missed so much time. When I say it's not as easy as it looks, once he gets his three-point rhythm, that'll take his game to another level, and I really believe that that's going to change things for us offensively as a team. Thanks, Coach. All right, thank you.